with us here in this wonderful part of Northern Ireland where St. Patrick's ministry took root, and the great and wonderful heritage that is ours in our faith today as a result. So a beautiful scenic part of Ireland and part of the St. Patrick's Trail, certainly, of commemorating our great saint. We're here at the gravesite of St. Patrick, St. Bridget and St. Columkill, buried here in Downpatrick, and the marble slab, that's the big granite slab that's on top of the grave here, has come from Castlewellan and was a substantial addition here to the grave, as we're told, according to the legend that's given to us here, and with a Celtic cross on top of the slab here. So St. Patrick, of course, we know, born in Wales perhaps, at 16 captured and taken to Ireland, sold to slavery, escaped, and in a dream heard the voice of the Irish calling him back. And so here in Downpatrick is where St. Patrick ministered, and certainly perhaps ministered further afield too, and left his mark, certainly bringing Christianity to Ireland.
This is just where the relics of Patrick, Bridget and Columkill are laid, but there are many other relics of Patrick scattered around the country. But I would say this is the primatial part, if you like. In other words, the premier part. It's where Patrick came to evangelize. He began here back in 432 with his commission from the Pope to preach the gospel to the Irish. And that's why he wrote his confessions. It was like an apologia. And the main purpose of that was, I am the apostle to the Irish. There were many other attempts, maybe even before that, but it didn't succeed. But Patrick succeeded. And I want to let you into a little secret why Patrick succeeded. Patrick, as you know, was captured as a slave and brought to work. We say, we claim he came to Antrim, to Slemish Mountain, where he worked as a shepherd boy for 6 years. And he tells us in his confessions that he had fallen away from the faith of his father, and he didn't listen to what the priests would say, and he felt that it was a just punishment from God that he and his contemporaries, he was only 16, were captured and sold as slaves to Ireland. But this 6 years that Patrick spent on Mount Slemish, we believe in County Antrim, was the key to God's providence in Patrick's life, because Patrick, in his loneliness, turned to God. He was away from his family, a friend's culture. He missed his family dearly, but he turned to God. And he tells us he prayed 100 times during the day and as many more during the night. And it was there that God came to comfort him as a father comforts his son. So Patrick got to know the Lord during these 6 years. But there was another reason. The Lord had another reason. Patrick also got to know the culture. So Patrick learned the Gaelic tongue. And it would be my estimation that years later, when he got home, he escaped back home, and then the voice of the Irish came to him again. The angel of Ireland appeared to him. Come, holy youth, walk among us once more. Patrick said yes. He knew he's been called to the priesthood. He prepared, they say he prepared in France for the priesthood. And that's where he got this commission then from Pope Celestine to come to Ireland. But the reason why Patrick succeeded was when he got to Saul and he met the chieftain Dichu, Patrick said to Dichu, Giadich. You would say Giadith. Now, who is this guy? They would have said, he knows us. He can speak our language. And Patrick not only could speak the language, but he knew the pagan culture that had to be penetrated by the good news. So he was totally inculturated already, and that's a Vatican II theme for the preaching of the gospel, that you must know your culture, you must know your field before you start planting. And Patrick knew his field, and that's why Patrick was successful. But I also think Patrick, another part of what I would say Patrick, why he's important for today is, you know, we must understand the culture today and how to penetrate that culture with the values of the gospel, but also for young people, because Patrick was 16 And he was going through, we would say in Belfast, to use a Belfast colloquialism, heavy whack. And when you're going through heavy whack, who do you turn to? You turn to God. And we all need to be in the desert and have a desert experience. And we're in Lent now. Well, but by the time this is being recorded, we're in Lent. So we're in the desert, and that's where God speaks, and that's where we speak back to God. So we've got so much to learn from Patrick, and he's not invoked enough, and we need to invoke him, especially in these times when the faith is under such attack in Ireland. They rediscovered Patrick's relics and bridges in Colin because they were hidden during the penal times, and this Church of Ireland was a ruin. And in the apse of the church, between the stained glass windows, the relics were deliberately hidden there by genuine Catholics who didn't want any harm to come to this. They knew it was so important. They were rediscovered, and they were placed here probably in the mid-19th century. And a guy from Ardglass, a Church of Ireland guy called Joseph Francis Bigger, around 1890, 1895, he placed this stone and he put the name Patrick across it. And we're going to be in Saul in a few minutes. You'll see where he actually landed, and the first, what we reckon was the first Christian foundation in Ireland. There may have been a few before that, but not of any significance.